The business edition of 21 Minutes with KKB is proudly brought to you by
MTN Business Broadband.
First National Bank, Bank of the Changeables.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.
Designed for the driven.
Thank you for joining us today too. It's been a pleasant time in the past few weeks, and I think you've had a great journey just as I have. But it's time now for us to have another conversation, and obviously it ought to be really engaging. This is 21 Minutes with KKB, the business edition. My name is Kwabna Chencheni Boateng, and I thank you for inviting me into your homes, offices, streets, the cars, on your phones, tablets, and the like, just so we can have this very interesting conversation. Remember, the show is proudly brought to you by MTN Business, and MTN Business is what is your partner for growth. Also brought to you in partnership with First National Bank, the Bank of the Changeables, as well as MG Motors and the Makers Electronics. Remember that when it comes to starting a business, it's not very easy. So if you're a young business or a startup business and you are looking at the way to make it, there's a secret. Maybe you do not know. So take this number, 5060, right? Take note of that number, because it's going to be that key which opens a lot more doors for you. Because MTN Business is suggesting that all you need to do is to dial star 5060 hash. That's star 5060 hash and subscribe to the SME Plus package. And once you do that, listen, you're done for life. I kid you not. It's some good news which is coming your way. And what the service does is that it allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content all bundled in one subscription. The other exciting news for you watching right now is that you're able to get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All your partners, every colleague of yours who is on MTN, you're able to call them for free from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So remember the magic word or that magic code I gave to you, star 5060 hash, and then you can sign up today. You can also WhatsApp or call the number 0244 308 111 for more information, and stay connected everywhere you go. We are still in a rather interesting period in our lives, and so for First National Bank Ghana, what they are saying to you is very simple, that they are offering businesses, both big and small, an opportunity to switch and enjoy zero monthly account fee with any of their business check accounts. So 3 months fee-free banking anytime you open a business check account between now and September of 2022. Of course, this makes business sense, does it not? Of course it does. So all you have to do is to visit any of their branches in Accra, Kumasi, or Takoradi, or call the number 0242 435 050. Again, the number is 0242 435 050, and we'll do well to send one of our friendly business bankers to you to start the switch process. Remember, First National Bank is what? It's the bank of the changeables, and the simple question they keep asking is, how can we help you? After this break, we delve into a report put together by ACEYE, which tackles a lot of the challenges that young entrepreneurs go through and gives a breakdown, a geographical breakdown of some of these challenges, and of course the interventions put in place by government to help improve the lot of the young entrepreneur. Stay with us.
When we connect, everything is possible. Whatever seems unreachable becomes even closer. Building partnerships, redefining the norms. Because when we connect, being there becomes possible, and new ideas come to life. Stay ahead and stay connected with MTN Business Broadband. Superior internet solutions that drive your dreams. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
From weekend warrior to workhorse, when you get behind the wheel of the new MGZS. The luxurious sedan experience meets the rugged frontier spirit of the SUV. Indulgently generous interiors, hill start assist system for unwanted uphill traffic, and the touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay for easy mobile phone. Designed for the driven.
Many thanks for staying with us right here on the business edition of 21 Minutes with KKB. Today, like I said, we are going to delve into something which is quite unfamiliar to those of you who have been watching the show. Oftentimes, it's a bit personality driven. Today, we want to focus a bit more on something slightly different, but of course, still focused on how the young entrepreneur can succeed. And so, like I mentioned in the intro, we are going to take a look at that very report, which is highlighting a lot of things that the young entrepreneur must pay a bit more attention to. So today, the co-founder and CEO for the Africa Center for Entrepreneurship and Youth Empowerment, ACEYE, in the person of Emmanuel Akwa, is joining us for this conversation, and we'll learn a lot, hopefully, and begin to appreciate a lot more what the situation is across the length and breadth of the country. Emmanuel, good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
How's ACEYE doing?
ACEYE is very, very good.
ACEYE is doing well,
yeah.
eh? Okay, that's good. Let's take a look at this. The Entrepreneurship Freedom Index, which you have launched successfully, and it has quite a lot of things in there. But even before we go into it, what is it? What is the Entrepreneurship Freedom Index? What at all is it?
Yeah, the Entrepreneurship Freedom Index, also known as the REF Index, is an in-country study of all 16 regions in Ghana, according to a set of indices inhibiting entrepreneurial growth, with recommendations offered to the least region scores. That's
a lot of big English, but you know, in breaking it down, you are essentially saying that the things that do not allow businesses to grow as they should, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting. And I'm sure you must have come across quite a lot then.
Exactly.
And you did this across the country, right?
Yes. Every region, for example, we gathered data from about 200 small and medium enterprises. Okay. So all in all, we are looking at about 3,200 small and medium enterprises.
So that's more than 3,000
exactly.
Micro, small, medium scale enterprises.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
After that, we then did some analysis, and then we came up with some recommendations.
Let me ask this though. In your interaction with these businesses, over 3,000 of them, you say, what were some of the, I just need the broad strokes first before we go in total. What were some of the things that run through from, say, Accra to Tamale as you spoke to businesses? What were some of their major challenges?
Well, I would say, it's obvious that entrepreneurs will certainly want money to expand. So that's one thing.
So financial support.
Financial support.
Right.
And I think that's where government has been paying attention to over the years. But in actual sense, if you look at even the relevance of this project, I tell you, if you're able to get the basics right, in fact, government wouldn't have to even be providing these entrepreneurs with the financial support. But I'm sure we'll come to that.
Sure, we will.
There's also, issues concerning labor. There is a big gap between academia and then also the job market. Right? So you would have young people who have all the skills or the knowledge acquired from the various universities. But as to what the entrepreneurs really want or really need in order to help them succeed in their entrepreneurial journey, that isn't there. And then also there are issues surrounding, wages. And that's where the minimum wage comes in. Because then if I am not doing well as an entrepreneur, and government is telling me that I don't have to pay
someone below a certain amount.
Exactly. So then I'm compelled.
You may have to lay them off.
Exactly,
right.
Because I don't want to have issues with the government. I think there are also issues surrounding taxes. I tell you, this is a very big blow to entrepreneurs, because there are some regions, even when you have to even interact with some of the entrepreneurs, when you tell them even you are time bound and now you have to even move, they tell you, you have to listen to this particular one. Issues surrounding taxes. And it's understandable, because then even if you pick somebody, a business in the cement industry that's doing importation, that person is paying about, 18 or so different charges, taxes, and then levies, among other things. So then you can understand the plight of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I think these are some of the challenges that we encountered on the ground.
What will make the entrepreneurship land fertile?
Freedom.
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 Businesses are not free to operate in the country.
Businesses are not free. They are not free to, produce, to earn, to save, and then to invest. You can look at the 4 things that I have said and spread it across. To produce. If I have to get, it's taking me long for me to get FDA certification or approval. Or there is so much bureaucracy surrounding licensing. How then am I free to produce what I have to produce? I have had, engagement. I have worked with more than 2,300 entrepreneurs through state and private vehicles. And sometimes when I have conversations with them, recently, a friend that I was directly involved in his business, so I used to provide, consultancy, do pro bono consultancy intervention for him. And he called me the very day we were launching the project, the reports. He called me and informed me that, look, Emmanuel, I'm actually putting my business on hold. The reason is, he's struggling as an entrepreneur. I'm not saying that all government supports haven't yielded any good results in the past, but I'm saying on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective has this been? Right? This is somebody who has received government support in the past. Right? And if this person is saying, I have to go and work in a company and make sure I have extra funds to come back and, plow it back into my business before I can, grow, then certainly there is something wrong.
There's a problem somewhere.
Yes.
So
exactly.
it could then be assumed that perhaps governments may be focused on the wrong things as of now. We are throwing money at things other than the real problem.
I would say intentions may be good, but the outcome, I am afraid. So we have to go back, look at the root cause. And we also have to look at the seen and unseen implications of government interventions. So for example, if government is giving assistance to entrepreneurs, so let's say 50,000 Ghana cedis, right? These businesses become overly optimistic. Now we have to understand that entrepreneurship is try, you fail, you get up, you try again, So if you're giving somebody that's 50,000 Ghana cedis, and the person has to start from the ground and the land isn't fertile, where would this money end?
Some say that we always say the young entrepreneur does not get the needed support, the needed whatever from government, but government has actually done a lot, from tax holidays to tax rebates to seed capital to other things. Aside all of these, we still say the land is not fertile enough for businesses to grow or thrive the way they are supposed to. What more can they do?
As the state, I don't want to use the word fail, but if it gets to that point, it means that there is a fundamental problem. History has a lot to teach us, right? If you look at the typical traditional Ghanaian society, that's pre-independence, what used to happen, even in the Ashanti kingdom, there is something called, Asitna Kese, right? Where, the people in the community, or let me say particularly the entrepreneurs, and then the very institutions have this engagement, periodic engagement, right? Let's ask ourselves, the very institutions that we are having as a country, how often do they have these interactions with the entrepreneurs to understand, that the value that they are creating is actually not becoming an impediment to the growth of businesses, rather as an enabler towards the growth of these businesses. So the reason I'm talking about freedom, if you look at Heritage Foundation's Index of Economic Freedom, it will surprise you to know that all, the young people who are moving from Ghana and for that matter Africa, traveling overseas, are actually going to these countries that are being ranked as the top 10 on the Index of Economic Freedom. Which means that where freedom is lacking, poverty is inevitable. It's not about state control. It's about the freedom, right? There are a number of, just look at even the USA. If we have to cite these institutions, the US is known as, the land of the free. And so it's very, very easy. I mean, when everybody goes to America, I mean, the American dream. Why? Because it's very easy to start something out there.
The system is working.
The system is working. Yes, actually. The glass and coin. Yeah. So I think, in as much as government is trying, I think I'm not putting so much blame on government, because then sometimes I think they come up with good intentions. However, we must pay attention to...
It's about the implementation.
Exactly, the outcomes of it. Because I think some of these things are failed experiments that have actually been given new names to come back. And of course, there are no...
Thing and expect different results.
Exactly.
I see.
When we connect, everything is possible. Whatever seems unreachable becomes even closer. Building partnerships, redefining the norms. Because when we connect, being there becomes possible, and new ideas come to life. Stay ahead and stay connected with MTN Business Broadband. Superior internet solutions that drive your dreams. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
From weekend warrior to workhorse, when you get behind the wheel of the new MG ZS. The luxurious sedan experience meets the rugged frontier spirit of the SUV. Indulgently generous interiors, hill start assist system for unwanted uphill traffic, and the touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay for easy mobile phone. Designed for the driven.
Kwajo, I wish you well on your new job and place. Be fine.
Hello, Grandpa.
My grandson, I learned you are leaving your father's hacienda to go and increase your standard of living to an astronomical quotient. I believe that you are trying to bless him. This is my pneumatological aberration. From the abincunables to the eschatological divinity. I bought you this from the Makers Electronics Company Limited. Take it. Go forth and conquer.
My son, when you receive your first salary, the next line of action, make sure so the Makers Electronics Company Limited.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Our Taifa Highway. Obesan Womo. Our Amasaman Zongo Junction. Ashraman so Omo Falco Flats. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobe. The Makers Emma up to 67% discount. Fred the Makers Electronics Company Limited is here. 055 22 22 253 and 055 22 22 254. The Kawon is here. Called the Makers Electronics Company Limited. The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.
You said something very interesting, that for 12 out of the 16 regions, your recommendation to government through this report of yours is that they should stop pumping money to these regions to help businesses in there. Take us through that a bit. That's if I got you right.
Maybe you were referring to the one I talked about, the
yes.
state enterprises. I mean,
yes.
Not setting up businesses in those regions.
Which 12 regions are these, though?
Apart from Eastern, Ashanti, Northeast, and then Upper West regions, these 4 regions, I think government shouldn't set up, businesses in the other regions, the 12 regions that fall below.
So even in the Greater Accra region?
No, government shouldn't do
Really?
This. Yes, government shouldn't do
Why? So what are these enablers that are lacking in these 12 regions?
We are looking at freedom.
But some would have thought that in Accra, you have a lot more access to all of these things, more access, more banks, more government agencies, registrar general's department, you have access to all of these things. And they should, essentially help you do businesses, or?
Okay. So let me help you with the other side of things that maybe we are all not paying attention to. Once government gets into business, it becomes a competitor.
True.
So when government becomes a competitor, what happens to entrepreneurs who are already providing a certain level of value and are trying to commercialize it? Remember, the motive for being an entrepreneur, profit maximization.
Make profit, yes.
So if government intervenes and says that, okay, I'm going to provide a certain level of subsidy, then you know there is a problem somewhere. So government, in fact, it isn't government's business to do business. Government is supposed to be an enabler of the ecosystem rather than being a player. You can't tell me you are a referee belonging to FIFA, and then all of a sudden, if Ghana is going to play against your home country, you then join your home country to play against Ghana.
Some say for some services, they are too critical for government to just leave for individuals to handle. Government must necessarily be in there because, of course, you spoke of maximization of profits being the main motive behind every entrepreneur's vision. There are some things, some critical services that if you allow people to just take charge of without you being in there, it becomes a problem. Look at electricity, for instance. Look at power supply, water supply, and the like. So some of these things are critical. You can't blame government for intervening in such things. Or
well, I think that's a very good point. And that's the economic fallacy that we've all had to engage ourselves in at some point in time. I mean, right from senior high school, some of these things, I thought those things were the truth. But in actual sense, Adam Smith spoke of the invisible hand. In
demand
fact,
and supply.
Exactly. Once the invisible hand sets in, automatically, competition sets in. It then causes, prices to, it keeps prices at the equilibrium, where prices are supposed to be. Over the years, ACEYE has had this monopoly. And what has been the outcome? In terms of quality, service, what has been the outcome? If you allow the private sector or the free market, you have a number of people competing to reach the same customers. Just imagine the effect. If about 3 or 4 companies have to reach you just to make sure that you're able to, patronize their service, they certainly would want to understand things from your perspective. So that level of value creation then comes in. If it's about cost efficiency, then certainly one would want to do that. And this is what would make people also happier, because then at some point in time, because you have competitors in the system, they all provide value to different customers, satisfying different needs.
We are with Emmanuel Lakwa. He's the co-founder and chief executive officer for the Africa Center for Entrepreneurship and Youth Empowerment, ACEYE. And if you have not seen their report yet, please do well to go onto their website. Share your website with them, please.
Yes, www.aceye.org, ACEYE.org.
Right. And if you go there and you download it and you read it, you get to appreciate a lot of things. He's spoken a lot about the challenges a number of young entrepreneurs are facing in getting to that level they wish to get to. He's identified, I think, about 4 key things he says are really, really creating problems for a lot of entrepreneurs. Key amongst them, taxes. Taxes, yeah, we are still on that issue of the taxes, but of course. He's also highlighted quite a number of things, including the fact that we need to free up the space. Government should not be a player in that same space. Just free up the space, create the opportunities for these businesses to thrive, and the like. So quite a lot. There was a geographical breakdown. When I took a look at the report, there was a geographical breakdown, which, it took a look at the various regions and the exact things that may be affecting some entrepreneurs in those regions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Take us through them. Maybe we'll run through quickly, maybe region by region, and then we'll sum up with the recommendations. You've already given us one recommendation. Some of the recommendations you have for government and for all the other stakeholders.
One question we have to ask ourselves is that if government is raising or government is taxing us, what does government want to use the money for? Is it to help us I mean, to make our lives better.
Of course.
If it's to make our lives better, and we are complaining that the taxes are rather not helping us, then certainly governments, that's democracy, right? Governments must just back off. So in that case, the tax in the first place, I'm not saying taxes in itself are not needed, but the tax in this case, of course, where people are complaining, then becomes an impediment because people do not want it. So government should then back off. Because if you are bringing it, you are saying the taxes would come for our lives to be better. We are going to be happy. And we are saying, or the people are saying, no, these things will rather make us suffer, and we don't want it.
But it's almost often always the case. I remember VAT at the time when it was introduced, Jerry John Rawlings, there was a lot of noise about it. In the end, once it went through and people saw that, oh, apparently it was for a good cause and it's actually helping, people fell in line and followed suit. So you can't always say because people say they don't like things, then necessarily then you have to just let it go. Like being a parent, your son or daughter may often say, I don't brush my teeth. Is that to suggest you allow the child not to brush their teeth, or all the children? Because of course, it's democracy.
Okay, so let me help you with something Margaret Thatcher said. Margaret Thatcher says, with those taxes, eventually run out of people's money. So we are getting to the point where are the businesses now to be paying the taxes? Because already, something that businesses have been complaining of, and still, somebody sits somewhere and still pushes the agenda, and businesses can no longer absorb it, certainly they would leave. And if these businesses leave or they collapse, where are you going to get these taxes from?
I see. Emmanuel, many thanks for your time today on the show. It's been an eye-opening interaction. Listen, visit www.aceye.org, ACEYE, aceye.org. Visit that website and get to appreciate a lot more of what it is. Emmanuel Akwa, the co-founder and CEO for that think tank. Yeah, think tank, right?
Yes.
Aha. What they have been sharing, it's quite enlightening. And the good thing for me, the happy thing for me, is that he's a young guy. And most of the people at ACEYE are really young people, and they are doing so well. If you take a look at the launch they did, it was really well organized. Had quite a number of good partners to join them in this. It suggests that they're on the right track, and they have seen a lot of the struggles you and I are facing in our young startup businesses. And so let's take a look at what it is they're doing, pay a bit more attention to it. I will personally send this to a few people in government also, the document that I've seen. And then we'll pick up that conversation. In subsequent episodes of 21 Minutes with KKB, we'll have some government officials, one or two of them, sit with us and help us appreciate what it is from the perspective of government also they are doing to help alleviate the plights of the young entrepreneur. Of course, we'll take a look at the report and all of its recommendations as well and see how government can take advantage of that to better our lots. Emmanuel, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you also for having me on the show.
Right. So it's been another edition of 21 Minutes with KKB right here. My name is Kwabena Chencheni. The show is proudly brought to you by MTN Business. MTN Business has something very unique for you. They keep saying all the time that there's good news for small to medium scale businesses. With SME Plus, you get to manage all your operational costs in communication. The service simply allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content all bundled in one subscription. The other exciting news is that you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is MTN's way of trying to help you cut costs there. So every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., call all your partners and ensure that you have all your business transactions for the week on Monday. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. free. But of course, you only have to subscribe to the SME Plus package. All you have to do is to dial *5060# and then you sign up today. You can also WhatsApp or call 0244308111 for more information and stay connected everywhere you go. Again, as I always say, the show is also brought to you in partnership with First National Bank. First National Bank is the bank of the changeables. Now, the First National Bank is offering businesses, both big and small, an opportunity to switch and enjoy 0 monthly account fee with any of their business check accounts, all you have to do is quite simple. But even before I tell you what you have to do, these are some of the benefits. 3 months fee-free banking anytime you open a business check account between now and September of 2022. This makes business sense. The impossible just got bigger and better with First National Bank, which is the bank of the changeables. One small change can make a huge difference for you and your business. Visit any of their branches in Accra, Kumasi, or Takoradi, or call 0242 435 and we will send one of our friendly business bankers to you to start the switch process. First National Bank, how can we help you? We also got support from MG Motors as well as the Makers Electronics. Many thanks for staying with us for this very episode. And as I usually say, I'll see you soon again, hopefully with another guest you're expecting.
The business edition of 21 Minutes with KKB was proudly brought to you by
MTN Business Broadband.
First National Bank, Bank of the Changeables.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics.
Designed for the driven.